now with Academy Award-winning director and producer Ron Howard. He has a new documentary coming out about the man behind the Muppets, Jim Henson, Idea Man. Welcome back to GMA.
Pleasure. Thank you. Good to be here.
So what drew you to Jim Henson?
Say what?
What drew you to Jim Henson?
Well, fascinating. I knew him a little bit, only in passing. I knew others who respected him so much. And yet, when I saw the archival footage and met the family and began talking about the story behind all those iconic characters, it had a lot of surprises and was incredibly entertaining. There's so much footage in the archival stuff that's just hilarious. I was laughing my way through this session of just, learning about the way he got started, the way he developed his voice, his talent, and it all reveals itself in these great characters. But the journey is, has a lot of twists and turns, and it's very, very entertaining stuff.
And that was a lot of archival footage the family gave you access to for the film. Was there anything that you sticks out as your favorite thing you found in the footage?
These really short, like 6-7 second commercials that they made early on. He and his wife Jane launched this company, and it was like the beginning. It was the new tech, right? It was like somebody going out there now and being a content creator. Yeah. But for them, it was these little short commercials that they did that are just hilarious, irreverent, and you can see all the stuff that you're going to wind up loving about the sense of humor, the anarchy, the craziness, the characters. Later on, you can see it in these early commercials.
Well, you have whet our appetite,
Yes.
so let's see a little bit right here.
He was figuring out what he wanted to do next in his life.
I was going through those sort of early times in one's life. I was breaking up with a girl.
We were kind of dating other people and everything. We had life going on during Sam and Friends.
Well, he clearly had a moment of self-doubt. Here's a track, I could stay on this track, but is this the track I want?
Gosh, this already sounds so relatable in so many ways.
Well, he's a real genius. I mean, a bona fide outlier, and he just broke a lot of new ground, and the way he did it, as an individual, and he and his wife Jane, she was so central to
What was his
launching.
genius?
Well, it was a sense of anarchy, and it was about satire. So he was an introvert, but when he would get this puppet, especially Kermit, and the evolution of Kermit is funny to learn about also, because it wasn't already Kermit. It was funny anyway. But when he had that puppet on his hand, he became this remarkable entertainer with real insight, and he would do it with fun, but he would hold a mirror up to the human experience.
But he didn't aspire to be a puppeteer.
No, he loved television. He loved the new tech. He was an introvert, but he wanted to be a part of it somehow. And he just, as an absolute fluke, he found that in the local television station, they were looking for puppeteers. And he was an artist. He was kind of a boy genius. And he just said, okay, I'll make a puppet. Went down there, auditioned, got a gig, doing puppet shows. And that was the door that opened for him.
So, and I want to touch on Jane. You mentioned her, but I think people would be surprised to know her role in sort of building the empire, if you will.
Foundational, and they've got a really interesting relationship. In the beginning, their romance is kind of built around creativity and these puppets, and as life gets more complicated, ironically, the thing they created ultimately caused friction and caused them to drift. And, and that's a part of our story too. And the family made all of that information available to us through their interviews, and also access to these these archives, which was remarkable. I really appreciated how much they trusted me.
I mean, you say it is remarkable. And another thing that's remarkable, 50 years ago, Happy Days.
Oh,
50 years ago.
Unbelievable.
And we saw it. We all absolutely love that.
Look at you too.
And we saw that you and Henry Winkler had like a little mini reunion. Do you keep up with him and the other castmates on a regular basis?
Well, yeah, we actually have a little thread, a little thing going on all the time about who's doing what and what's going on.
Potsy.
Yeah, we see each other. Oh yeah. That was a bond. It was a great time, and I think our boss Gary Marshall was such a great leader, and he wanted us to have careers beyond the show, and everybody has remained so active and busy.
Yeah.
So done that.
Thank you for coming in.
Always a pleasure.
Love your passion. Love your passion.
I'm still enjoying
compassion.
it. Well, thank you.
Wow.
Jim Henson Idea Man premieres Friday on Disney+.
Monday, Tuesday, happy days. Wednesday, Thursday, happy days.
You can pick it up, Ginger.
Right.